Hi Rick, how you doing?
Hey, good morning, Keith. I'm fine. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. It's so great to see you. You know, you are the model of health for me in so many ways and well-being that I thought we'd talk a little bit about that today. And the title of this podcast will be Your Body, Mind, and Heart Are Meant to Be Healthy. And I think,
Wow.
yeah, I think this is true for the majority of people. I mean, I work in a hospital, so I see a lot of people there that are in need for many reasons, some of which are not, within their control. But the great majority of people are not in the hospital. And so for those fortunate folks, you know, how are they honoring this body and this mind and this heart that are meant to be healthy? And I look at my life and I feel like I am very, very blessed and fortunate that my life is on the path that it is, to where optimal health and total well-being is really something that I am committed to. And, it starts with the exercise, it starts with what I take in terms of my mind, and also what I choose to orient my heart to feeling, or to keep an open heart. And so I'll be a little bit more specific about that, is that we have all these cells in the body, Rick. I think it's trillions of cells, and they are all dedicated to keeping us healthy. They're dedicated to that. That is their mission. And what do some people do? They don't honor that hardworking cell and cells that are there for them, whether it's the lifestyle choices and behaviors that continue to, undermine those things. And while I didn't do it with nutrition or other substances like alcohol or drugs, what I did deprive my body of was sleep for a number of years, Rick. That rejuvenating, practice of just recovering and healing the body is good for the body, the mind, and the heart. I didn't do quite enough of that. And then for the mind, it wasn't the majority of my life where I was responsible in that area either. I mean, I took in things that made me become more anxious, more fearful, worry, ruminate, and most of all, I developed a superpower, complaining about everything and judging everyone. And so I wasn't even using my mind, the right way. I was using it for obsessive thinking, mostly about things that I couldn't control, or things that weren't the way that I thought they should be, or trying to make things the way that I wanted them to be. So I wasn't even using that right. So, and then my heart. I mean, my heart would close like that all the time. A life situation, a person, a thought, my heart would close so quickly. And when I look at these three parts that make up that help you have the human experience, when I think about that, Rick, I owe my body, my mind, and my heart an apology. I, for the longest time, did not treat them well. I did not honor them. But thankfully, you know, ToBeRe came along, you came along, some authors and some inspiring individuals, and got me on this path to where I feel like every single day I'm intentional about honoring my body, my mind, and my heart with the choices that I make. So Rick, I'm just gonna stop there. I'm gonna listen to you and let you close us out on this topic.
Well, I'm inspired listening to you. First of all, thank you for the kind words. One of the things I think that's very important is to realize you can start from where you are. You don't have to get to a certain place before you start paying attention to all of this. And you used a word that was very important to me and guides my life, which is intentional. Intentional. We often don't live our lives intentionally. We live our lives on autopilot. You know, there's a to-do list in the back of our brains, maybe in the front of our brains every day about what has to be done. And we tend to make that the priority instead of the priority being personal health. So personal health, I think, is a choice. I started at ToBeRe after 40 years, 30 years, 35 years of basically a sedentary lifestyle. At age 59, that's when I started with ToBeRe. At age 59, that's when I started doing triathlons after I learned from you and became part of the group that was so powerful in changing my orientation to what was important in life. And health, physical health, is the base of the pyramid, the very basis, the very foundation of what we have to have. And we have to be intentional about that. If we're not intentional and we let things go their own way, you're going to find yourself in a situation that you won't like. When you talk about heart, mind, and body, they all work together. That's one entity, actually. And they're all intertwined like a spaghetti pile. And you can't tease out one and be great at nutrition and not be great at RT, resistance training. You can't be great at having an open heart and let your body go. You can't be great at thinking anxious thoughts and worrying if you're still in that mode without having to improve the other things as well. So my point is it's all interconnected, heart, body, mind, all interconnected. And the Greeks said the thing that you have to do is make sure that you are moderately paying attention to each of those and moderately, not extremely, but moderately tending to all three. And I think what the Greeks meant by that was the golden mean. The idea was that you don't have to become a triathlete. You don't have to become some superstar or somebody that's very, very skinny. You just have to make simple choices all the time about what's optimal for your health, mental health, emotional health, your heart, love, feeling of connectedness, and also your physical health. And that's, in essence, what you taught me at ToBeRe. And that experience with the journaling, taking into account everything I was eating, every day with the amount of exercise that I would do, how I would meditate, what my thoughts were that were coming up for me. All of that really was a study in learning what not to do and what made me feel better when I did it. So for me, and like you, I think, and mostly folks in ToBeRe, it becomes a habit. You need about 15 to 19 weeks, I think I read somewhere, before something becomes a true habit. But if you can just fake it till you make it during those 19 weeks and say, okay, for just this amount of time, I'm going to do this kind of workout per day or 3 times per week, or I'm going to make sure I'm not eating chocolate cake anymore. I'm not putting stuff in my coffee. I'm just going to drink it black if I drink coffee. I'm going to forget about booze for a while. You know, little tweaks like that until you can get into the flow where you feel so dang good, you don't even notice it anymore. It's just a lifestyle. And I guess the point that I'd like to conclude with is that the physical really is the most important part of a whole shooting match. That's the foundation. And once you have that foundation, when your body feels good, you're less likely to have anxious thoughts, less likely to be worried, less likely to be having guilt about the past. And you'll also, I think, start to feel that your heart will be open. You start to feel like your heart will be no longer closed to other people and new things. So the last thing I want to say is that even at my age, as I'm aging, I'm finding new things all the time. And I credit that to what you and ToBeRe taught me, which was life is a balance of holding on to great health and then letting go of all the garbage in your life.
Wow. I love that, Rick. I so love that. I mean, you know, as the podcast title suggests, I mean, you know, your body, your mind, and your heart are meant to be healthy. You know, for most of us, that is a true statement. So if yours is, congratulations. That was not by accident to have all three healthy. And if yours isn't, as you mentioned, Rick, it's not too late to get started. And when you get started, don't stop. Keep going. I mean,
Beautiful, man. That's right. Beautiful.
I love you, Rick.
I love you, Keith. Adios.
Adios.